So we left off yesterday with this quote that the brain breathes mind in the same way that the lungs breathe air. And I think that's a good way to look at the mind-brain relationship. So I actually quoted Marvin Minsky right after that, a very influential cognitive scientist, and he said that mind is simply what the brain does. And so in this way, you can look at the brain as the noun and mind as the verb that it's doing. The biggest issue facing consciousness researchers right now is the confusion between using the word mind and using the word consciousness. So, in some ways, I'm going to describe the mind brain relationship in an almost simple way, but that really has nothing to say in terms of the relationship between mind, brain, and more importantly, consciousness, which is a little bit more complex, and I'll get to that eventually. But you can show a very simple relationship between mind and brain just by thinking of something that was annoying. The second you start ruminating about some past event that was annoying, your sympathetic nervous system kicks in. How did it kick in outside of that thought process? And conversely, if you start imagining meditating on the side of a mountain, the same is also true. In fact, there was a whole line of research in the 80s about mental imagery where people would just imagine themselves working out. And just by imagining the mind, imagining that certain parts of the body, certain muscles were getting larger because they imagined themselves working out, it had real world effects. So those muscles actually did increase, not as much as the people who actually worked out, which would have been kind of really good news for some of us, but it actually had an effect over the control group. So the relationship between mind and brain is not nearly as complex as the relationship between consciousness and brain. And so I just wanted to make that point because what we're going to explore for the next couple videos is the mind-brain relationship, not the consciousness-brain relationship, which is far more mysterious and less understood.